Hello and welcome everybody to the newest installment in the incredible adventures of the unsinkable Alice Baker, The Thing on the Doorstep Part 2. You are going to the opera.
Yes.
And in the process, you're trying to stalk your own mother, who is going to the opera with Eleanor Thompson, who is the mother of Lily Gregory née Thompson, who is the current wife, let's call her current wife of your friend Matthew Gregory, who has been behaving erratically and is trying to divorce Matthew, and he's trying to not divorce her because he's madly in love with her, but not in with the woman she's turned into. And also he's really afraid for their daughter Cara Gregory, who's about 20 months old. Yeah. And basically, you have been investigating this whole thing. He's hired you to find out what is going on. He's explained to you that she has changed completely. She's even physically attacked him with a poker. And she's become really mean-spirited. And it all started after they had taken in her uncle, Ephraim Waite, her maternal uncle, because it's Eleanor Thompson, née Waite is her mother, because they lived in Sacramento in California, and the Thompsons live in Boston, and Ephraim doesn't have any other family in California, so they took him in because he suffered a stroke and he was bedridden, and then he suffered another stroke a couple of months later, and now he's speechless. But during the time that he wasn't speechless, he was behaving really badly. He was very erratic. He was very angry also. He was, taking it out on the servants. He was a mean person, but Matthew said he couldn't do anything about it. They were both looking after him, and they also had a live-in nurse, but they went through 5 of them because none would stay. But Matthew said he couldn't actually just say, oh, we need to move him out because he is a relative and you don't do this. But then at some point, suddenly his wife changed and she's now become really mean-spirited. But the now mute Ephraim seems to have changed as well, in that he always looks at Matthew in a really pitying manner. You've consulted with Sinead Murphy, and the two of you, and including Dottie, believe that there may have been some kind of transposition of the soul. That Ephraim used some really black magics and took out and put his own soul into the body of Lily, and possibly put Lily into his body. And his plan is, first of all, now he's got a much younger body, able-bodied. Lily, if she divorces Matthew, is going to be quite rich. She's wealthy anyway due to her family, because she would inherit her father's wealth.
Yep.
So if Ephraim really did it, then he now has a really young and strong body, and he would be independent if he divorces Matthew. He divorces Matthew, plus he would get money. So he would. Those would be 3 really strong motives for doing this. So the question remains: what about Cara? What about Lily? And what are the next steps? So Matthew is going to take you and Dottie to Sacramento in 3 days' time. So Dottie's already started packing. That's all in hand. You've got a recipe from Sinead Murphy with regard to what you need to buy, what kind of ingredients you need to buy to kind of do a ritual.
Yep.
So you've done some shopping, mother word and all of that, sandalwood. And she's also told you need a full-length mirror. And when you are there, you should avoid looking into reflective surfaces.
Yep.
So that's where we're at. but you also wanted to inquire about the story, so you spoke to at least one friend of Lily's, and you tried to speak to her mother, Eleanor, but
I
Eleanor,
talked
you
to
talked to
one friend
both, to
live
one
in
friend,
person and the other
and
one via phone.
okay, yeah, thank you. And you also spoke to her mother, but her mother decided not to talk to you, but she wanted to find out who you were. And now she
She's
and
best
your
friend with
mum,
mom. What the heck?
that's how it is, are going to the opera and will have dinner, and you've decided to stalk them. So you are now going to go to you're going to go to the opera. You've got 2 tickets reserved for yourself and
Yes.
Dottie. You're wearing the scandalous dress, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
Yeah, you're wearing the
Yes, yes,
scandalous dress.
obviously.
And it's gonna be Verdi's Aida, and you're taking a cab, and it's now pretty much time to go.
Then
Cab is outside, you get in, you go to the opera, and you arrive in style. You make your way up the stairs. I imagine it's kind of like one of those classicist buildings. So basically like with a Roman portico and that kind of thing where you have several steps that you have to walk up, wide staircase, columns. Are you trying to find your mother, or are you just gonna walk in?
I will walk. Clearly, I will keep an eye open for my
Mm-hmm.
mother. And Dottie probably as well, but generally Alice will behave. She's here to visit the opera together with her partner in crime, literally, and she will probably know quite a few people here because there are a lot of people that circle around her mother as well. And she will be just friendly, small talky, and how are you doing, and how is, and just being a socialite.
Make a credit rating roll with advantage, please.
Oh god, my credit rating is insanely high anyhow, but with advantage. So we'll roll you with it. And that is 15, which is a critical success.
Okay. Well, first of all, you're wearing the one with the open back.
Yes.
So everyone is looking.
But clearly I have like a scarf,
Yes,
so
but,
I can be like a little bit.
Yes.
Not too much.
But depending on, how the mood takes you.
For Alice, or I think an Alice circle of people, this is a classy approach to showing, but not too much.
Yeah, and I remember we actually had a picture of that dress. Yeah, because it was so super special. So depending on who you're talking to, you may be kind of like the scarf may be showing a little bit of the shoulder, or it may be not showing the shoulder, but it's kind of like
depending exactly who it is.
And obviously everyone's,
if I talk to someone, you don't see the back. So at least a lot of people are more scandalized about when Alice turns away to go to the next one. There is the hush and ooh. Or
so you
eyes,
draw,
because they say ooh, nice.
You see, the point is that there isn't just people your own age, and especially not only people who are unmarried, but there is also the married crowd. And I just rolled on the jealousy meter. It's not looking good. I would say about 90% of the present females are kind of not happy. 10% are very happy. And 90% of the present males are very interested. 10% are just like, they can appreciate that this looks really good, but because of other reasons. Oh, they do care, but not in that way. They can appreciate the beauty of the female form. They can appreciate
the beauty.
And basically you do meet a couple of people that you know socially through your parents, and it's a lot of how do you doing, and people would have heard that you have been traveling, that you've been to Egypt, that you've been to Japan, So,
we would tell. Also, I would use that here and there to introduce Dottie to more people,
mhm,
that she at least by just seeing, naming, at least know who they are to get more into the circle of people. But I would not just dump her and
mhm,
hey, I would be with her, just like
mhm,
introducing, talking about Japan, giving her like a little ball on telling about how lovely, I don't know, Tokyo is,
mhm.
and or things like that.
And it is also a fact that this is a social evening for
Yes.
where lots of people would attend. So you would even see people that you might know from the Met.
Hmm.
And it's a beautiful evening as well. So people are gathering outside. There is champagne before the actual opera performance starts. Um, would you have been would you have tried to get a like a balcony seat, or
Yes.
would you have been okay? So basically, then at some point,
Although we were very last
this is the thing.
minute,
I think probably the
so I
balconies.
think balcony would have been already sold. We would be somewhere in the crowd.
Okay, so you would be in the auditorium,
Yeah.
like okay. So at some point there is a kind of like a gong,
Hmm.
and people are starting to file in. And again, there are different doors that lead to different parts of the very large auditorium. You pick the one that is yours, you go in. Let's make a roll for perception. Or is it, what is
So
it called?
spot
Is it spot
hidden,
hidden? Oh
spot
God.
hidden.
It would be so nice if they just named it all the same. 24.
A
That must be a
10
hit.
blank on the die, which is a critical success.
As
Making
no,
it.
it is a hard success, so we're gonna give it a tick. It's a hard success for Dottie. You both spot your mother.
Ah,
Do you make yourselves? Let me see if she spots you. 50. Yeah, well,
it's
she had
hard
to see
to.
why everybody was
Yeah.
turning their heads. So yes.
I'll give her a smile, a wave, and a little kiss.
Okay, how do you think she'll take it? Do you think you're still able to scandalize her, or do you think it's like this is beyond repair?
I don't think it's, especially when I'm looking at, it's not scandal. Like, she will probably be like, oh no, when Alice is sitting down and she can see the back of the dress.
Because she knows the dress, because that was the one that you wore when you first met Pamela at the Leaf
Oh no,
L'Enfant du Bal.
then already when she sees me and basically scans me from up, oh god, my daughter is there. Like, why is she here? Also, probably she's clicking why Alice is here. Her mother is a smart lady. And then seeing the dress and being like, I can't believe this. I think she's more annoyed, tiny bit disappointed. Not really. She honestly, I think she will just, yeah.
But my
It's
question
Alice.
is the fact that you are drawing so many obviously appreciative glances, that you are really making an impact, and she is this socialite. Do you think that this kind of also fills her with pride a little bit?
I think she
Yeah,
would not show it. I'm
yeah, but
quite sure, but internally it will be like she learned from the best.
mhm. Because obviously Eleanor Thompson would also look in your direction. Let's
Yes, and she would see clearly that I'm waving to my mom, sending her a kiss.
And you do look like each other. No, you look like your
Yes,
father, don't you?
I look. No, I think I look like a mix.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
a
But there
mix
is definitely a
of.
family resemblance that she would
Yes,
notice that you look like your mom. Okay.
I suspect so.
Yeah, yeah. She wrote a 73, so she's probably nearsighted, so she can't really make you out. So she
Hmm.
talks to your mother, and your mother basically gestures in your direction and says a couple of things, and then you know how people do it. Then she turns her gaze towards you and she smiles.
I will nod and smile back, and I think also Dottie looking
Yes,
up would
absolutely.
give
Yeah.
like a wave or a nice just
Yeah.
greetings up there as well.
I think we can actually
And
increase Dottie's credit rating a little bit because she's a lot more
she has
well
more
off than
money
she
now.
used to.
Yes.
Yeah. Um,
And then we
okay.
would just sit down, have a
Mhm.
few nice words with the neighbors that
Mhm.
we sitting left or right from us, and then
You
waiting
have a
for
you have like one of
evening.
those brochures that basically list the cast and God knows what. And so
Hmm.
then it all goes silent, the lights go out, curtain rises, and you are treated to a vista of Egypt, obviously Aida. And I would suspect that you at least know the opera. This particular piece, you have heard this before. You've probably
Yeah.
also attended one or the other performance. Let me see if it's a good performance. On a 65, you have a couple of gripes with the performance. I'll leave it up to you if it's too modern, if you don't like the design, or if the soprano was kind of off a little. It's not the best you've heard. It's
Okay.
good, but it's not the
I
outstanding
think
one that you would have.
then she would. I don't think she would criticize it being modern or so, but the singing, it's not. She has heard it performed by a better singer for sure.
Mhm.
So this is okay. It's not a catastrophe, but well,
Yeah. So this is
you
not
can do
whatever
it
the
better.
Maria Callas of that time was. Um, and okay, but basically, there would be an intermission, right? So people would go
Yeah.
outside. There would be probably, yeah, this is the highest. There would be canapes and there would be, I don't know, some champagne. Do you want to talk to your mother in the intermission?
Yes, because it would be weird if
Mm-hmm.
not.
Okay.
Also, people would talk if we don't. It no, it would not
Yeah.
leave a good light if we
Mm-hmm.
at least don't exchange like a little, like kiss
Yeah,
and
because the thing is, you
you
went
look
there for a
beautiful.
reason. And I now want to know, do you want to pull off
Yes.
whatever it is that you're planning now, or do you want to wait until after? Okay, so.
No, I would try now. I think now is the best time because now it obviously makes sense that we are exchanging words and talk to
Mhm.
each other.
Okay, so it's quite easy to find. Do you think she has a balcony ticket?
Yes.
Okay, so basically then she comes down with Eleanor from the balcony. The two of them are standing at those like these little round high tables, and there is like champagne and whatnot. And obviously, then the kiss,
Yes, and
and
mother, such a surprise to see you
darling, I
here.
didn't know you were coming. We could have gone together. But let me introduce you. This is Eleanor Thompson of the Boston Thompsons. Eleanor, this is my eldest daughter. Well, no, you're my only daughter. She
Only
only has
daughter,
one. This
only
is my
child.
daughter, Alice Baker.
I will give her greetings and well, now in person. I'm sorry again that I disturbed you with the call. It was maybe a bit intrusive.
Oh, not at all. And basically, she shakes her hand. How
And
do you
then
do? How do
also,
you do's with Dottie? Your mother
Dottie,
also, how do you do's with Dottie? And let's see. On a
I
58, so your mother is a 50 today, a 50 plus today. She is
I think
definitely moved away from this Dottie's a servant way of greeting her to a different stage of Dottie is, I don't know how she fits into the circle, but she's not a servant greeting.
yeah, I think it's more like a formal greetings that you would give to someone that you really cannot really pinpoint, so
Yeah.
you would be just formal and polite,
Mhm.
but it's not warm, and
Yeah.
because obviously still Dottie is as sad as it is not part of
Yeah.
this, at least not in her mother's
Yeah.
mind.
So, and well, Dottie greets everybody as well. There is canapes. There is all kinds of drinks. So there is also, I would say, probably orange juice and stuff because not even, I mean, with prohibition, there were people who basically decided to give up drink anyway. So even
Yes,
after
yes, yes,
prohibition, so there is also the equivalent of orange
yes.
juice or whatever they were serving
Something will
back
be
then.
there for sure.
Yeah, and Dottie actually doesn't drink. Um, in
Alice will also drink orange juice, I
Mhm.
think. Oh,
And
will she? No, she will.
your mother is gonna
People.
drink champagne, but only
Yeah,
just like,
I will have a small glass of
yeah.
champagne. Not much, not
Mm.
to be drunk, just to be socially
Well, I mean, being your
fitting
mother's
in.
daughter, in your society, in your society's circles, you would have cultivated the I have one glass of champagne and I make it last, and it looks like I'm
Yes,
drinking every
yes,
single time I'm talking to somebody, but I'm really not.
yes. I think
Yeah.
that's the way that Alice would go. And then Alice would first of all go with how they feel how it is. And I
Mhm.
am honestly quite sure her mother and Alice, that is something where they have a very similar taste.
Yeah.
And they will have exactly the same critical points
Hmm.
on, well, the singer. It's we've seen better, mother.
Hmm. And she agrees with you. And then, and Eleanor says, well, I have to say that it's been a while since I've been here at the opera. The last time I was in Boston. And yeah, I hear what you mean, and I see what you mean as well. And
She
then
has potential. Might be with a
she's
bit
a
more
little bit on the
training.
young side. She needs more experience to really, But it turns out that Eleanor Thompson is actually she went to the conservatory.
Mm.
She's an accomplished cello player, and she is very musical. So that's kind of like, it's more like something that your mother drops into the conversation, because your mother has found
Mm-hmm.
everything out about this lady that is
Obviously.
that can be known. And Eleanor is kind of like, Eleanor is charmed by the fact that this is note and kind of like on the modest side, but not false modesty. But she says yes, and I was at the conservatory, and I also graduated. And every so often I still you know, for charity, I sometimes dust off the old cello.
It's a beautiful instrument. Something I never managed to do. I'm an artist, but more with paint and drawing, not so much with musical instruments, as my mom can clearly confirm with my piano lessons, violin lessons, flute lessons that all made everyone in the
Don't
household
remind me of the
suffer.
violin lessons. Eleanor, I can tell you, you haven't heard real pain made into sound until
Oh,
you've
I'm
listened to
I'm
someone,
good at that.
until you listen to someone who's practicing the violin very inadequately. My husband and I just decided it's not worth our last nerve, so we basically abandoned the musical career aspirations for Alice, and we just let her go and do whatever she liked. And it was
Well,
painting. And I have to say, I am
painting
very
and
impressed.
reading, that's both hobbies that are not hurting, at least not the ears. Maybe the eyes, depending on what you draw.
Darling, I cannot remember a single painting or drawing you have made that we didn't like. It may not
True.
have been our style, and it may not have been something that I would put up in our living room, but they all reflected you.
Oh, thank you, but also it's a hobby, clearly nothing to do work with, but I like to work with the Met. I have friends there and find artists or young artist painters or from Japan. We brought a few pieces back. That was quite interesting that you can now see in the Met.
Oh, do tell. Eleanor is now really interested, as is your mother, because you haven't really spent that much time with your mother
True.
talking about that part since you've returned, because this
Mm-hmm.
whole thing with Matthew happened very quickly after. And of course, the stuff that you would have kind of kicked off with the Met would have taken some time because they need to get the stuff over and make contact. So I would say at this stage,
It probably just
Alex Croxton
opened.
would have been able to produce at least a catalog of the pieces that they are going to bring in. So they would have gotten
Yeah.
pictures first, because of course everything needs to be packed.
Might
Um,
also be that they did a little corner of new Japanese things that are just there for a certain
yeah,
time and then will be part of the
yeah.
general things like that.
And the two ladies are really interested, listening to you, asking questions, and
We will tell a little bit about the artist's style, not so much about how broken he is and why he's broken, but at least about his beautiful art with the sakura and his muse, such a lovely lady, such a lovely, warm lady. And they are such a cute couple. And just to give also story around the
mhm.
paintings and to go into that.
Okay, on all future interactions with Eleanor, you get, if it's a social interaction, you get a bonus die.
Ooh.
Yeah. Because she has this because I mean she was kind of, she wasn't standoffish, but she was really careful not to disclose anything when you were on the phone, and basically like, yeah, well, I'm going to and then now she's befriended your mother. But this whole interaction and meeting you in this context,
That was
yeah.
Alice's plan,
Mm-hmm.
not to talk about daughter or
Yeah.
anything like that, but to warm basically Eleanor up, that she gets a good feeling to
Yeah.
maybe open up and talk.
Yeah, that has definitely worked.
And I think before, usually it gives like a warning bell and then a second bell, and with the
Yes, so
third bell, everyone
basically at
should
this
really
stage
move in.
you are going
With the
to file
first
back in. Yeah.
bell, I think Alice would clearly say goodbye to her mothers and enjoy the second half. And Eleanor, are you around in New York for longer? Maybe I can arrange that you get tickets for the Met and you can visit it.
Oh, that would be really lovely. I would really like that. My husband is going to join me, and maybe if we could get two tickets, if I'm not imposing.
No, questioner's mother, you and father, you as well? Maybe I can join you guys, because I know father will hate me for even giving the idea that he has to look at something like that. My father
She
hates
laughs,
those.
and then she says, "Well, why not? It would be nice. Then, Eleanor, you and James, and Richard and I, and we could even make it a day, and then have dinner at our place, and maybe you can join us if you are free, darling, because I know you're very busy."
I am. The problem is we are traveling in 2 days. We already booked going to.
Matthew booked you.
Yeah, and I
Well,
think it was just two
that
more.
that
I
that
think
is
2 days.
Yeah, that is fine. We can always postpone your joining us, but Eleanor and James, if you could get us tickets, you can
Obviously.
just send them to our house, and
Yes,
then
yes.
Eleanor, you'll just let us know when James is in town, which will be in about, what did you say, 3 days, 4 days? He's joining you, and then we will just go to the Met, and then you are invited to dinner at our
Then
residence.
I would, if it's okay, send the tickets to your house, mother, and you
Please
can
do.
then arrange everything while Dottie and I are in. I always want to say San Francisco. We are not going to San
You're going to
Francisco.
Sacramento.
Sacramento. I don't know why my brain is not keeping that. While we are having a trip to the East Coast in Sacramento, Mom, I will let you know when I'm back.
West Coast.
West Coast.
You are on the
Wait,
East
West
Coast.
Coast. I am on the East Coast. Oh God, it's the heat. I will put it on the
No,
heat. That
it
is
is the heat. It
outside.
is the heat. Um, well, darling, after this performance, Eleanor and I are going to a restaurant for dinner, and I'm not sure if we will meet in the throng of people. So if I don't see you,
Yes.
have a lovely rest of the evening. She kisses you on both cheeks. Um, Ms. Williams, and she shakes her hand, and then Eleanor also shakes your hand and shakes Dottie's hand, and then the two of them move away to to their balcony, and you go to your seats. Second
Yes.
half, same impression. The soprano still is on the young side. She still needs her voice to mature a little more. And then the performance ends, lots of clapping, lights go on. And do you want to do anything, or do you just grab a cab and go home?
I know my mother quite well.
Yes, you do.
Would I have an idea which restaurant she will pick?
She would have told you even. It wasn't a secret. She told you where she
Okay.
was going. She told you her plans.
Yeah, if she told me the plans in front of Eleanor, it's not the idea to shop at a restaurant as well. That is too in the face, too aggressive.
No, she
So
told you on
then,
the phone because you talked to her on the phone and she told
but
you
we
that she was.
didn't to the opera. I don't think she put in that they will have dinner
No, she
afterwards.
told you on the phone. She told you
Okay.
because this is the thing. She phoned you saying that Eleanor phoned her and what was the story because you had
Yeah,
phoned her and
true.
what was going on. And then she told you that that she and Eleanor were gonna go to the opera and then have dinner. And I'm
Okay.
pretty sure she would have told you where she goes.
Yeah, probably. But then we will just grab a cab and
Hmm.
we will go home,
But she
or
would have
we will
told you without
also.
Eleanor there. So Eleanor doesn't know that you know, but
But you just mentioned.
she told you when she was on the phone with you. Oh, by the way, Eleanor called me.
But
What
you
is
just
going
said
on?
in the talk together with Eleanor, you told as well that they will go for dinner afterwards.
Oh, yeah,
So it's
yeah,
there as
yeah.
well. So
But not
um
where they're going.
but I think we would just leave here with a cab and we would probably go out for dinner as well in a restaurant, but close by to our place and the usual restaurants that we have. Maybe the
Vittorio's?
Vittorio's, probably, because it's always worth going there.
Yeah.
And a little tiramisu at the end sounds quite
And
nice.
vitello tonato
So
as
I
entree.
think we would just have a nice dinner afterwards, talking about a little bit, maybe the people.
Hmm.
I think Alice would give Dottie here and there for a few people that they met more background, because you can't do it when you're in front of the people.
Yeah.
So now all the gossip
Hmm. Yeah.
goes to Dottie, and then we would head back home.
Hmm. Okay. So, and do you want to do anything at home, or or do you want to jump to the next day? Of course, Maeve is there. You patrol with her.
I think we would go through what we, if there's anything else we need to grab tomorrow before final packing, and just going through, and then it would be time for bed.
So I would say you do make a list. There are always some bits and bobs that need to be gotten
Hmm.
before you travel. So basically, then you go to bed. Next day is still a complete day in New York.
Hmm.
The following day is the day that you're going to go to Sacramento. During the day, either if you're there or if you're not there, it doesn't matter. You receive the tickets from Matthew, plus the information that a cab will pick you up at 8:30 because the train leaves at 10.
Hmm.
You've got a sleeper car, obviously, because I don't believe in those days you could have made it in one day. Probably even not today if you went by train, East Coast, West Coast.
No, it would be a sleeper train for sure.
And so basically, and he's arranged it so you've got like a sleeper compartment. But during the daytime of the trip, there is kind of like a compartment with seats for 4 people. There is only the 3 of you, but then you have he will be sleeping in a separate cart, and you will be sharing a really nice, comfortable sleeper car
Hmm.
with Dottie as usual. Yeah,
I
and mhm.
I would on that day definitely organize. I would call Alex and organize that we get 4 tickets for the
Mhm.
Met for my mother,
She's more than
and
happy to oblige.
and especially for the paintings also that we brought or sent in from Tokyo.
Mhm.
And I would probably give Matthew a call.
Mhm. You ring Matthew.
Yes.
He's staying at his parents', so it's the butler
Mm-hmm.
or the maid in this
Mm-hmm.
case, the Gregory residence. Good afternoon.
Baker. And I would know exactly who it is.
Mm-hmm.
Say
Yeah,
hello, good
yeah.
day, hope you're doing fine.
Mm-hmm.
Is Matthew?
Yes, he's in. Please hold the line. He said he
Thank you.
might be expecting your call. And she puts down the receiver, steps, 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 and then, hello, Alice.
One tiny thing before we meet tomorrow and leave for
Sure, what?
Sacramento. I'm still trying to figure out the story on how to get to enter the house. Do you think your wife would buy the idea that we are private investigators not sent by you but by your father and parents because they are worried about what is happening there and they want to have a clear picture?
What do you mean, would she buy it? If this is what you say, how is she not going to buy it? I'm not sure if she would let you in.
The question is, how well does she know? Have I never met her,
No.
right? Did
Because you
tell
didn't
her?
go and your parents didn't go either because they
True,
were in
true.
Florida.
So the main question is, what did you tell her? Or did you tell anything about me, my job? And I hope in this case, usually I would be offended if you wouldn't have talked about me,
I
but in
haven't
this case, I
spoken
hope
about
you
you
have
at
not.
all. I thought she doesn't know we're coming because I thought that, I don't know, you might break into the house or whatever. I don't know what you do. I have no idea. She doesn't know we're coming.
No, have you talked? Does she know my name? And does she know that her social circle is not the New York circle?
No, because
is
she's
it?
in Boston.
Yeah. So the main question is when Matthew met her, preparing the wedding.
She knows all about Pamela Baxter Strauss.
That
She
is
knows
fine.
nothing
I'm
about you.
thankful not. Okay. Usually Alice would be offended. In this case, Alice is quite happy because it will make it easier.
Yes. Oh, by the way, out of context, you were thinking about dressing up as community nurses again, just in case
That as well.
Yeah.
We will probably need different options. In case, I don't know, they find out we are not nurses. What do you say then? We are private investigators, but for whom?
Not suspicious at all. You're not a nurse. What are you? Well, I'm a private investigator. I've come to investigate you. Okay.
Maybe, I'm not sure. Just playing around with ideas. Matthew, do you think, worst case, your parents would back the story up that they hired me and Dottie? Or is that totally out of discussion?
Well, I'm just going to tell you. I'm just going to tell them.
Okay. I think it would be good, just in case, that we have a backup plan.
So let me get this straight. So your plan is to kind of sneak your way in, and if they find out and ask you, you're going to say that you were sent by my parents because they are
Worried
afraid?
about their granddaughter, money,
All right, okay,
and all
yes.
the marriage
That-
situation, because
that-
it would not look good on their boy to be divorced.
I'm not sure if she would buy the not divorced boy part, but she would definitely buy the fact that my parents would do anything to keep Kara safe,
And
including
money.
sending a lady investigator in.
Yes, and money, honestly. Your parents, I'm quite sure, are not happy about the idea of you losing quite a bit to her.
Yeah, but I'm
You
not
know I
sure
love
if you
your
would like to
parents,
tell her
but-
that, because that might, make things even worse.
I hope I don't have to tell her at all, but we will see. I just
Oh,
want to
you mean
have
once
plan B.
it gets to that point, things are pretty much in the dumpster anyway.
Well, at least I'm in the building then, if we get in this situation. So,
But I
we
mean,
will figure
seriously,
then
what are you
something
going
out.
to do when you're in the building and she finds out?
Well, first of all, we want to talk to, if we can manage, to the uncle. To find out if
But
actually the uncle is the uncle.
he's had 2 strokes. He can't talk.
Well, but he can clearly make a sign, a blink, deep breath, snort, whatever. We will figure it out.
All right.
Tapping.
And what are you going to ask him?
if he's really himself or not.
That's where this
We
whole
will
curse thing comes in, right?
correct. I will tell you more tomorrow in peace and quiet. We will have a lot of time on the train. I will fill you in all that we collected so far. Also, be careful in case you're outside. You might meet your mother-in-law. She's in New York. We met her yesterday. Really lovely lady, I have to say.
Eleanor is in New York?
Yes, she went out to the opera and dinner with my mom, and they will go together with their husbands, I think, in 4 days to the Met.
What?
It's a small world.
And it all revolves around Alice Baker, doesn't it? You're the solar system center.
At the moment, kind of yes. Although everything is triggered by you, darling. So technically, you are in the middle of everything.
I think most men would actually be very happy if a lovely woman told them that they are the center of everything. Somehow it's not doing the trick with me, though.
I know, because I'm not the right woman to say that. I learned that along the way, a long time ago.
You always said you weren't interested.
Well, not now. You're married. And with that, my lovely friend, we will see you tomorrow at the train station.
And you hang up on him?
Yes, I will say goodbye and I will hang up on him and I will let him sit with that.
Okay. Another man whose heart got broken by Alice Baker.
And no, in this case, honestly, I think it's a vice versa. Breaking heart just never. I think they never had the right timing. I think this is a classical point of there was potential for more, but it was never the right time to really get together.
Yeah.
And I think for Alice, for her, it's more teasing now. I think for her, he's still one of the most important people in her life, but it's clearly not any husband material.
Okay, so Dottie, of
As
course, has
much
been
as
listening, and
Mom would have
Dottie
loved that.
was always the one who said, "Don't give up on Matthew. Don't give up on Matthew. Write him that letter in Egypt, and write him that letter." So she's listening to you, and she's kind of like, "Well, Alice, that wasn't so bad. I mean, if he does get divorced, you wouldn't
He
mind,
will
wouldn't you?"
not.
What?
Our whole goal is to save their marriage and get his wife back. And honestly, I've never seen him so much in love with someone, even not with Pamela. As much as I adore my friend, we need to fix this for him so he can have a good life, a
But in
beautiful
case
daughter.
we can't,
There is no in case. We are not fitting. This would never work. It has never worked out. It will never work out.
I think I'm turning into your mother as I say this. Don't knock it till you've tried it.
Honestly, I don't think I want to try. I think it's just past. There are so many gorgeous men out there.
She goes to the window and pulls back the curtain. None of them ever make it here to your house, though.
Because this is my safe space and home. Obviously, they will not make it here.
She turns around and she laughs. Well, then.
Let's go packing.
Mm-hmm.
And we will do packing, all the arrangements that we need to do, and probably enjoy a home cooked dinner today. Just nice and relaxed.
You also get
And
in-depth information from our friend Sinead Murphy with regard to what to do with the ingredients.
yes, that was open too. Right.
So essentially,
Us.
it's all about, you burn some incense, you draw some stuff on the ground, you make. This is now where it becomes critical. she told you that generally speaking, souls enjoy being inside of people's bodies. So it's a lot easier to, if you're going to remove your soul from your body, it's easier if you give it a vessel that it can go into, and if this is a human being that is still alive. Okay. If that doesn't work, if there isn't a human being, it will evaporate, as it were. Well, not evaporate, but it will go into the ether. But they don't really like this, because that's kind of like an in-between intermediate state that isn't, it's neither here nor there. So they don't like this. So if they have the possibility of going into someone, they will. Meaning that if this body already has a soul, this soul will be evicted. So it's kind of like a musical chairs situation.
Is there no way that both souls can stay in the same body?
Not according to what she's writing you. She says she hasn't found anything in the literature that says that this works. That doesn't mean that it doesn't. It's just, it's not been observed, or if it's been observed, they didn't write about it. So in order to ensure that this whole musical chair thing doesn't work, the one way of doing it is to trap the soul in a mirror. For this to work, you need 2 mirrors. One that is pretty much full length, and another one as tall as you can get it, but it makes sense if it's movable and possibly even portable, because you have to act fast. When the soul leaves the one body to transfer into another, you have to trap it between the 2 mirrors. And then it'll basically, it's almost like, you know, when somebody's standing between 2 mirrors, when you have like an infinity of whatever it is that is caught between them, that's what happens to the soul. And it will be sucked into the mirror realm. Souls don't like it, because the mirror realm, as you know, because you've been there, is cold, wet, lonely, and a terrible place.
Yes.
And souls know this. Apparently, as soon as a soul leaves the body, it becomes aware of the mirror realm and will do anything it can to not go there. Hence, in order to make sure that they don't get trapped accidentally, people put stuff over mirrors when somebody's died.
Is there any note on, do we then afterwards, in case it went into the mirror, do we just cover the mirror? Do we smash and break it? What do we do with it?
Once it's in the mirror, you can see it. Because you can see it. And since it's freshly moved into the mirror for some time, somebody like you or Dottie, or you know, Sinead for that matter, who are in the know, or people like you guys who have been in the mirror realm, can still see the soul before it essentially, it doesn't disappear, it just moves into the realm, and then it actually cannot get out. Once it's in there, it can't get out. Unless somebody like you goes in, or somebody like you, and then it possesses them and comes out.
Well, obviously not. Okay.
Yeah.
We don't, Dottie, we don't have plans to go into that world again. One time try, we did both not appreciate.
What's your swim skill at again?
Still not good. It's still at basic 20%.
Okay, let's hope that if it happens, that the 2 of you roll really well.
Yes, because I think none of us leveled their swim skill.
She did, because she in the first session or second session, she's at 28.
Okay.
So she did get to level
It'll
up.
be fine.
Of course it will be fine.
Go wrong.
Indeed. And basically the thing is, you also kind of like, then you do some like, you know, you draw a pentagram and all that kind of thing, you know, so the way you do it. But he also again tells you, do not go near, or no, well, not go near is not correct. Don't look into reflective surfaces. So, because how long it's going to take for this thing to go away so that you don't see it anymore, and it cannot influence you, because that's what it's going to try and do. When you see it, it'll try and take mind control of you, even through the mirror. So it's important not to look. And she also says, like, and it's underscored 3 times with 6 exclamation marks. This also goes for Dottie. If something happens to Dottie, I will come and kick your butt.
So Alice will just put her finger on that part, looking at Dottie. So maybe you just stay here?
No way.
With
Nice
a
try.
smirky smile. No, we will both get out of this. Clearly Matthew as well. And I hope that we trap the old man.
Yes,
Okay.
I hope so too.
I think we'll have an extra bag where everything important is packed that we got from Sinead or bought based on the list that she gave us and all the information and everything. I also suspect by now Alice has a few books at home that are more of the supernatural kind of thingy, at least
Considering
describing it
what is
a
your value in
little.
occult again?
19. It's not high, but at least a few like
And you
ghost
do have a
possession
mythos. What's your
thingies.
mythos value? It should be over
Oh,
40.
mythos is 55.
Okay, can you do me a favor and just roll a
Yes.
d10 and add that to your occult? Because I think we forgot to increase occult because we never roll on it. We always rolled on.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is plus 6.
Okay, so we're
then
going to do the same for
that.
Dottie
So
because
it would
she's
be
at
then
13. She has she got
25.
a 7, so she's now at 20.
Okay.
I think that because we never actually roll on it, and we also completely forgot to increase it, because I think you would have also increased that.
Yep. And I think a book, because Alice is a stupid, crazy lady. Although, no, never mind. It has been written much, much later. Alice is not traveling to the future. I was like, she would have the book The Exorcist with no, it's not happening. Exorcist is too fresh, too new. Was not written then.
Oh, you mean in terms of a you mean in terms of
no, a novel to read for the train ride. Something
yeah, no,
in topic.
I'm thinking, do you know what you could read? How terrible is it going to be? Do you want to kind of like Northanger Abbey, which is kind of like funny, Jane Austen, which turns out to be not haunted, or are you really interested?
Scary horror.
Okay, in that case, I think Alice would enjoy The Monk, which is a gothic novel.
Mm-hmm.
It's really terrifying. Terrible things
Yep.
happen.
That would be her thing, and she would also probably have Jekyll and Hyde with her because it's
that was
always
definitely
fun to
written
read.
because that's Lewis and that's
that's
Stevenson. Yeah.
And
Okay.
that would be her reading books for the train ride, and maybe when they're there, we never know. And
I actually believe that Dottie, I think she's somebody who would be reading a lot of detective stories. So she would have read all of Shakespeare, all of Sherlock Holmes. She would have read all of Dorothy L. Sayers that would have been out by then. She would have read whatever Agatha Christie had already put out, because she was active in the 30s already.
Yeah, I think that's why I just opened Agatha Christie, because I was like, I think in the 30s the she was already active. And her books showed up in New York, so it makes sense that that her books would be in there.
Yeah, so she would have.
Vicarage. The first, Miss Marple showed up the first time 1930 in one of the books.
Okay, so in that case, it's 1934.
Yeah,
for now. So yes,
I
so
think, yeah.
she would be the person who reads all of those. Yeah.
January 34. Murder on the Orient Express.
The two of you would have read this because this is about a trip to Egypt.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
absolutely.
I think
Yes.
that would be a book she would really enjoy.
Hmm.
It came out in the US a bit late. Yeah, but I think that would be.
And the point is, it is actually a really good book, even if you're not really into Hercule
No.
Poirot. It's a book that anyone can read that likes
Yeah.
detective stories because it's
Yes,
a
yes,
really
it's a
good
good
book.
one. It's a really
Yeah,
good
and
one.
all of Sherlock Holmes. And I think she probably has like a really nice edition of Sherlock Holmes as well, with the 4 novels separate from the serialized stories. And yeah, I think this is right up her alley. Yeah.
I think that would be definitely her kind of thing.
Mhm.
And honestly, I think Alice would enjoy these as well.
Absolutely. Yeah.
She is. I think Alice is between romance books to horror. I think she's everything in between, depending on her mood and what she's up to. So,
Yeah.
and now it's horror time. Preparing for the dark things.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot shock me. I read The Monk.
Yeah, once you've read that, very few things can shock you because it's all about, like torture and stuff. The
Yeah.
monk is a really terrible person. I mean, he's really terrible. And yeah, and then basically you meet at the station, so we won't
Yes.
get into how you get there. Everything's fine. You have your tickets, you get into the compartment. The porter puts your luggage where it should be. Matthew is there, well turned out, still on the pale side, probably not been eating as much as you were telling him to, and he's definitely not been outside because he's super pale. And then the train sets off and you
One thing
Yep.
that I can think about the day where we are packing, arranging tickets and all that thing. I would give my mother a call.
Yes. Alice.
Two things. First of all, the Met tickets are on your way. They should either arrive today or tomorrow.
That's brilliant. Thank you so much, darling.
Secondly, I will send you information where, oh no, I will give her now the information where we can be reached in Sacramento because Matthew arranged everything. We
Yeah.
have the contacts
You
and
are
so on.
staying at a hotel, actually, because definitely not at the house. And since he doesn't have any friends, he has put you into, of course, the most expensive hotel in Sacramento, possibly a Hilton.
In case you and Eleanor talk or the situation gives for it, feel free to give her the hint that we are going to Sacramento to have a look at her daughter and have a peek on how her grandchild is doing. If there's anything she wants to share with us that would help, she should give me a call.
OT, have you told your mother that there's something up with the daughter?
I told her that there is a possible divorce at stake, and that something doesn't seem okay. I think that's all. I didn't go into details, clearly, no. But
Alice, whatever do you mean? What should be wrong with the daughter? I thought that there was some marital strife and they were considering divorce. I mean, young Mr.
well,
Gregory.
they not. One side was considering divorce, and
Yes,
that
of
is the
course,
side
Mr.
that
Gregory. I understand
no,
that.
he's not. He wants the marriage to hold, but his wife is behaving weirdly. And Eleanor can confirm because I'm quite sure she didn't have contact with the daughter for quite a while.
Oh, how long?
Just
Because
be,
you and I don't have that regular contact.
but it's different.
Is it?
Yes. Believe me, it's different. And in
Well,
the past, I've been quite good. Clearly, I
Most
could not
recently,
call from
yes.
Tokyo, but I sent postcards and I sent tiny gifts.
Yes, you did. Although
And
I'm
we
pretty sure that
talked.
that Dottie of yours had a hand in there, didn't she?
No, really.
Oh,
And since we're back, we at least talk like every 2 weeks.
yes.
I think that's a new high for
It
us.
it is a new high. This is why I
See?
thought maybe you had something to tell me.
Well,
I
I'm
mean, your
traveling
father
to
and I,
Sacramento and trying to help Matthew to get his marriage back.
not quite the news that I was hoping for. Maybe Mr. Gregory has some eligible bachelor friend.
I will make sure to ask her.
Ah, if you would. And should Eleanor mention anything, I will ask about her daughter and find out. And if there is anything that
Give her my
if I
contact
feel
later.
that there is something that she should be telling you, I will make sure she does. You know, I can be very convincing if I want to
I
be.
know. But not for the sake of maybe possible friendship. That would be more important. Maybe it would just help her to have someone to talk to be honest.
Thank you. Well then, have a
Then
safe trip.
enjoy the Met and
We will. Thank you again for the tickets.
give greetings to Papa.
I will. Richard, would you like to speak your daughter before she sets out to... Of course. Hello, darling.
Hello, Dad.
How are
How is
things?
business going?
Oh, well, I mean, since you came back from what was that with them buying another company, and I hear the heiress has moved to New York and is
Yeah, and
moving.
she will probably move on to California, I suspect.
Well, you are quite the ambassador for our country as well as our business. I'm very proud of you.
Well, in this case, I was just very egoistically wanting to help a woman in need because she was stuck with this responsibility. She didn't have a chance because her parents died and her brother as well. And she was all
Oh
on her
my.
own, literally. And we gave her the option out because it is a good business. She kept it well up and running. But I think with our friends, it's much better off, and she is now free to live the life she wanted to live.
Well, considering that I hope that you are also living the life that you want to live, it seems like maybe you have helped a fellow human, and that is always a good thing in the eyes of the Lord.
And I can say your partner overseas, they are very good people and lovely family.
Well, I'm glad to hear it that this is also something that you can confirm, because obviously, working with people, you never really see the full picture, as you
They are
shouldn't. But
very proper, honorable people. So
I'm
I don't
glad to
think
hear
you
it.
will ever be like, clearly I'm quite sure they will hard negotiate terms, but then they will stick to it without tripping or failing or anything.
So you're going off to Sacramento. I wish you a pleasant trip. Be
Thank you
safe.
so much. We
And
will
let us know if
try.
there is anything that you need.
I hope not, but I will let you know. Maybe I will send a little postcard just to keep Mom entertained.
I can tell you that she will be more than entertained. She really cherishes your little postcards. She's got them all framed.
Oh wow. And I'm sorry that I am making you visit the Met. I know you're not the biggest fan of museums, but it just came up.
Well, I think I'm now at the age where I just want to spend time with my wife. And if it means walking through a gallery because she enjoys the paintings, then that is fine by me.
Might be that you will enjoy the Japanese paintings that they collected. There are nice pieces between that.
Anyway, I will enjoy the gift in the spirit it's been given.
Then have
Be safe.
I will, you too, And latest when I'm back, I will let you guys know.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm really looking forward to that. And then he rings off.
And then Alice is ready to leave town.
Okay, so basically then everything kind of like goes as planned. You are on the train. Do you want to discuss anything on the train with Matthew, or shall we just jump?
No, I would discuss with Matthew, basically share what we found out. He needs to understand. I know he's not a fan of this topic, but he needs to understand, also explaining the thing with the mirror, asking him if there is a big mirror in the house, or if we need to kind of bring it in, which I do not hope, because this will be tricky.
Oh, we've got several.
Okay.
Well, several. I mean, it's not like Lily is terribly vain, but we've got one full-length mirror that's standing on the floor and can be moved.
Mm-hmm.
And then we've got one that is actually part of a wardrobe. It's
Okay.
fixed, but it's also,
Mm-hmm.
well, whatever, 7 foot, six and
Okay.
a half.
Mm-hmm.
That
And
came with the
clearly a
wardrobe,
few
and of
small
course she
ones.
wanted another because sometimes when a dress is made, and now I've seen what it's like when a dress is made. It's easier for the seamstress if the mirror can be moved so that the light falls. So that's why we've got 2 full-length mirrors, and of course we've got a couple of wall mirrors. Why?
I will give him the explanation of
But is
if
that
so.
safe?
Honestly, nothing in this is safe, darling.
So what are
We've
the
been.
chances that when you do all of this, her soul gets captured in the mirror instead of his?
I hope not.
But
Because
it's a
the idea is to
possibility.
get. Well, the idea is to get his soul, not hers.
But how
I
are
don't
you
want to
going to
have
make him
her.
leave her body?
We will figure something out.
Okay, make a
Persuasion, fast talk, something like that.
make a it's do you know what we need? Hide motive. That's not possible, though. What would be the closest? Because you do have, I mean, you did say you were going to try and threaten her with death and be very open about it and be very strict
Yeah,
with it.
but I would try.
What is lying?
Would I share it with her,
No,
with him?
no, exactly,
Lying
which
would
is
be fast
why
talk. Lying would be
then use
fast
fast
talk.
talk.
Oh no, that's an 84. He knows me too well. He knows me too well.
You've got a
I'm not
plan.
lying. I'm not telling everything.
Yeah.
That's the point.
So, which part of the story are you not telling me?
Well, the plan on how to get the body out, because I'm not sure you will appreciate threatening somebody.
If it is the way you say it is, then if you just say, oh, come out there, or else, what would the or else be? I mean, how are. No.
I promise I will not hurt her body also. At least not on purpose. I can't promise by accident, but not on purpose. We need to scare the living shit out of this old man. He's comfortable where he is.
But I mean, I've been thinking. So let's just accept that these are facts. I'm not even saying if this is the case. For me, it is the case because I have no other explanation. So, considering that he can do such things, how likely is it that you are going to scare him?
Because I know too much. I've been in the mirror world. I know how scary it is. And we have materials and wisdom and knowledge on how to force him out. And
You
she
are
will open the
so
little
different
bag
from
with
the
all the different things in
you are
there.
so different
And,
from the woman that I remember.
well, I've seen and went through quite a bit. Clearly, when we do that, you need to be far away because we cannot endanger you.
And
Because
what
that
about
will just.
Kara?
I hope we have her out of the house. Ask my wish, if it would work. We get in, we can talk to the old man, find out it's not, in fact, the old man. Try to get your daughter out. If she's even there, if she's there, get her out to you. You guys leave. And we will try to do a switch around. So if we have your daughter out, you two go to your hotel or our hotel because then we know how to reach you. And you stay there until we call.
Lots of things could go wrong. How are you going to prevent him from jumping into you or Dottie?
Alice will show her little gun that she pulls out of her handbag.
And that's gonna work?
I have no idea how they behave because I never met them. If you have someone else you blindly trust your daughter with, we can also send them with Kara away from the house. Clearly, the girl needs to be out of the house.
No, I will
And you
take
can
her.
stay and be there if you want.
And this is your life now?
Not only, the other half is just enjoying life as I always do, with going out for dance and drinks, going to the opera, going to the museum. How it should be.
He looks at you, then he looks at Dottie, and he says, "It's now really obvious, since I haven't seen you in such a while. You have both changed."
We have indeed. Although I have to say, you changed as well. This is the first relationship where I can see that you really mean it. You adore Pamela. It will never stop. Pamela is adorable. Who would not adore her? But it was never to last. But you can be happy to have her as one of your best friends.
I am very surprised that she is sticking with me.
She knows you're a good nugget, and she always kind of knew that she is too much to handle. I don't
I,
think there will ever be a man who really gets Pamela to settle down and stay.
if we ever need an epitaph for her, she was too much to handle, would fit.
And honestly, I would be the same.
Dottie's like,
So, the plan is that we try to get in as nurses. So we need to figure out some back information about nursing home, hospitals, especially like church related ones, that we get some.
oh, that's easy. There is a Mount Sinai clinic. It's the biggest
Awesome.
hospital in Sacramento.
So we will need more information on that, names on who is leading that, and that we can
There I
put
have
in a
really good
little bit.
news for you. They are a client of ours.
Perfect. And then the idea is to get in, and that we are being sent to have a look at the old man, obviously, because he's sick. Just to give an estimation, also to see if there is support that the family.
And now he gets really kind of like, you know how it is that when people are trying to avoid thinking about something and then you give them something else to think about and they become really busy. So he's like,
Yeah.
and he pulls out a notebook and he says, okay, so what kind of names of what kind of people would you need? Pen poised.
Clearly, whoever is leading the nurses would be good. The head of the clinic for sure. What the specialty of the clinic is. Like 1 or 2 names, like head nurses or nurses around. Also, maybe the lead doctor, 1 or 2 of them. Because we need to find a way on how they know of the old man and why suddenly they would send someone.
Mm-hmm.
Because honestly, I would even give a call up front. Clearly not with my voice. We will need to try to change it a bit. But like, we are calling in to make an appointment and we could come by tomorrow, and I don't know, maybe one of the doctors got the call from her. I'm not sure if I want to pull in her parents or your parents. Probably your parents would be the better way to go. Your parents know a lot of people.
Well, I can tell you upfront that the head of the clinic is Dr. Gerald Mackenzie. I'm just going to put all of this in the chat. And it's a general hospital, so they have literally, because it's the biggest one, they provide all kinds of services, but possibly, I mean, thinking about the whole story, I think Ephraim would probably need neurology, considering that he had a stroke.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let me just pull up our trusted old Excel with the names. God, it's so long.
Also, I think when we arrive, we should visit the hospital, just that we know the layout in case there are like questions that we can confirm that we are working there, we come from there, thing like that.
Yes, that can be arranged, no problem. Yeah, I
And
think
as I said, maybe lead nurse or 1 or 2 names of real nurses that work there.
probably best from the neurology department. Maybe we could get
Yes.
the name of the ward sister and yeah.
And after call, we would show up then the next day. And this also gives us all the reason to look at the old man.
All right. My question is, you know this better than me. Sacramento sounds somewhat Spanish.
It definitely has Spanish roots, I'm quite sure.
Yeah, so do you think that people from, let's say, Mexico
Catholic.
or Latin America would have lived there at that
Yes.
time? Okay.
Yes.
Because then the head nurse for the ward sister for the neurology department is Nurse Martinez. Yeah. Because we already had Nurse Pfeiffer. She was of German descent, and one could tell. So this is Nurse Martinez.
Yeah, I'm quite sure already in that time you had Mexican influence there as well, for sure.
Or possibly even the children of immigrants that weren't immigrants themselves. So, because at that stage, there was a time when the United States weren't crazy. And I would imagine that the borders would have been pretty much open anyway, and people from the South
Yes, for sure.
would have probably settled in. I mean, there's even a place called New Mexico, isn't there? That's even a
Yeah,
state,
it is.
isn't it?
They
Yeah.
they have a big
Mm-hmm.
big
Mm-hmm.
Middle and South American part as well, but especially Middle American
Mm-hmm.
that have moved there.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, and then I'll think about the head of the neurology
Neurology,
department. It's probably going
which
to be
will
a
for
man again
sure be a
because,
man for
yeah,
sure, because during that
yeah,
time,
yeah.
were there even female doctors? I
They're in
suspect
the
not.
United States, they could. Lots of them actually went into, surprise, surprise, gynecology
Yeah,
and family
obviously.
planning. They had a
Mm-hmm.
very active family planning movement where you could also get abortions.
Mm,
Mm-hmm.
did not
Yeah,
know. Yeah, but neurology, I honestly suspect
yeah,
a man here that would fit the time, I think.
yeah. Okay, I'm just going to think of a name. So, Palim Palim, you have a good night's sleep. Nothing happens on the train ride except that you're
Mm-hmm.
exchanging information, you're planning. Food is good. I mean, you are on a first class compartment. The food is excellent. I mean, they have like it's like a hotel on wheels. Let's be real here.
Mm-hmm.
And you arrive in Sacramento. You are taken to the best hotel there. Let's call it the Sacramento Hilton. And yeah, and then you check in, beautiful rooms. It's a suite, so it's kind of like one of those where you have two separate bedrooms and then one kind of like central room in the middle where, well, which is like your salon
Mm-hmm.
kind of thing where the bar is and that kind of thing. I'm just thinking, where would Matthew stay? Because he can't go back to the house because his wife doesn't want him there. She's filed for divorce.
He would have a room next to ours, I suspect. We
Okay,
would
then
clearly not share a suite because that would be
scandalous, and it would also ruin any chance
option
he
he
has
has for
with
maybe. Yeah,
anyone
exactly.
in front of the court.
Yeah. So I
Um,
think he would stay there as well and have a room next to ours, I suspect.
mhm. Okay, okay. So we know everybody is in the Hilton. I'd say it's probably evening of the day. You have your
Yeah.
evening meal. He says, "Well, it's too late to go to the hotel. You're already there, to the hospital tonight, but we should do it tomorrow."
Tomorrow. Yeah. Tomorrow.
Hmm.
I think tomorrow is Matthew, where you show us the lay of the land, as we say. So show us around. We should at least pass your house that we know where it is.
It's all right.
You
I've
can
got a
tell us
car.
a little bit, and yeah, get
Hmm.
an idea of the city.
Hmm.
That would be
Okay.
good.
So first, the house is a standalone house, which is fairly big. It's not, I mean, yeah, this is not the southeast, so it's not like those antebellum plantation kind of type buildings. It's just a big house. Not as big as your parents,
Mm-hmm.
but big enough.
Mm-hmm.
It's standalone. It's surrounded by definitely not a park like your parents. It's really more a garden and not that big either, but you know, it's a beautiful house. Um I would assume that Sacramento, or in our world, Sacramento at that stage wasn't a very built up place yet. So it was more kind of, I don't want to say rural, but more like a township, so sprawly. Um,
Right.
the seat of the Californian government is in Sacramento, so you would have like a Capitol Hill and all of that, blah blah blah. Um, and so it is a fairly big city.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Mount Sinai Hospital is well, they're all private clinics at the end of the day. It's owned by somebody, charitable people give money to it, blah blah blah. It's really big because it's it basically caters to almost all disciplines. It's a hospital, nice building, nice garden. So you show up. So how do you want to do this? Because yes, he can get you into the hospital, but he can only ever get you he can't get you into the wards because he wouldn't have access to that. He would have access to like the bureaucracy part, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you want to do this? Or is it enough if you get names?
I think it's good if we have names and
Mhm.
we can at least enter and have at least, I don't know, be on the ground of the hospital and maybe at least the lobby and just be there, seen it.
Yeah, that is
Maybe
something you can.
visit the cafeteria
I was
or
just gonna
whatever
say, yeah.
you can visit without
Yeah.
problems.
Make a credit rating roll.
That's a 9.
Oh, that is
Critical
really good,
success.
isn't it? Okay, so you are kind of in luck because obviously there is also times when you can visit people.
Mhm.
It's visiting hour. That is happened purely by chance, but you're also kind of like in this moment of being Alice Baker in the company of Dottie Williams on the one hand and Matthew Gregory on the other. You basically strut in there like there's no tomorrow and you know exactly where you're going. You walk in, you take in the front desk, you take a look. There is like, signage and it says, okay, neurology, 2nd floor. This is
You are cutting in and out for me.
Ja, it says meine Internetverbindung ist instabil.
At the moment, at least you're moving.
Okay.
And I
Okay,
can
so
hear you again.
let's try this again because you were frozen earlier, but it was probably me.
Yeah, I think so because you froze. Your picture has frozen in between
Okay, yeah.
all session long, but the tone was fine, so I
Okay.
didn't worry too much.
Okay, so we'll try this again.
So we are in luck. It's guest time, visitor time.
Yeah, so it's visitor time. You walk in because you are like, you own the place, not in a kind of like an arrogant way, but you know how to behave. I mean, credit rating 9 out of whatever it is. And you walk in, there is the front desk, you see the front desk nurse, you do the thing with nodding, you take a look, you take in the signage. It says neurology, 2nd. Okay, that's something else. Neurology, 2nd floor, no, 3rd floor because we're in the United States. It's 1st, 2nd, 3rd. It's not ground floor, 2nd, 3rd, 1st, 2nd. This is a hospital, so it does mean it does have a lift. So you go to the lift, press the button, you go upstairs because you know exactly where you're heading. And this is the air that you're giving off. This is a person who knows exactly where she needs to be, which means nobody's stopping you.
Also, I would have had the idea to either, if in the hospital you can buy flowers to get them there, or if not, to bring flowers. Because as soon as you have flowers in your hand, everybody suspects you're
What's your
visiting
luck?
somebody.
Make a luck roll. I mean,
it's a 32, but let's see what I roll. No, luck is definitely not
okay,
on
then you would have had to
our side.
bring
Then
it up
no
front, but you
flowers.
would have no, you can't buy them there. But you
Okay,
can, you
then
would have
just to
thought
be
about
safe
this.
and sound, we would have just a small, tiny, like a
A
few
small
flowers.
bouquet as you bring them when you, and of course, this is the United States. Anglo-American policy dictates you need to bring grapes.
Grapes.
This is something that I learned. And definitely in Britain
What
and
the
Ireland,
heck?
I'm not sure about the United States. You have to bring grapes because people can eat, well, except for you or people who are allergic, you can eat grapes. But the good thing about grapes is you just hand over the bag. There is no waste because it's nothing you peel. They taste nice. They take up very little space. So it's you bring grapes.
It's a British thing.
Yeah, because this is one of the things where Buffy is ill and basically Giles comes in and he brings grapes and everybody looks at him and then he starts eating them in her hospital room and he's the only one who brought grapes and he's like very disconcerted.
Yeah, I think that is a
Yeah, it's a
British,
British thing. So you don't
pure
bring grapes,
British
but you do
thing.
bring a bouquet.
No, we bring flowers.
Okay, so you go upstairs, you take the lift upstairs. You are in the psych ward. No, sorry, not psych ward. You're in the neurology ward. What do you do?
Usually you would, it's a question, is there like a reception nurse placed there as well? Or
There would
can
be
you
a
just
nurse's
walk
station,
in? I
yes.
think there would, because well, but if you know, you usually can just go in. You don't, it depends on the station. Sometimes you need to basically give the point of, hey, I'm here, I will go in there. Is it fitting now or do I have to wait? The problem is we don't know anybody.
Yeah, but the thing is, oh yeah, because you don't know anybody, you can't say, oh, I want to see Mr. Smith. Okay, so
Yeah.
what do you want to do? Do you just want to keep walking?
I will just keep walking.
Make a luck
And
check.
Alice is no, she doesn't need luck. She will walk towards the nursing booth thingy.
Yeah.
And the main question before we went in, that would have been something that we would have checked in during the train ride. Was the uncle ever in this hospital?
That's a really good question.
Because a doctor
I'll
must have
say
checked
yes,
him.
because you wouldn't have had a stroke and then just been delivered to Matthew's doorstep. He would have had to
No.
have been treated, and only when they
And
realized, once
yeah.
the acute phase is over, this is not a nursing home.
Yep.
It's a hospital, so they would be.
Then, and his name is Ephraim. I will
Wait.
one day learn.
Ephraim Waite.
Like waiting.
No, kind of Waite.
Ah, IT.
Ephraim Waite.
Okay. And she would just go to the nurses, basically, to their place.
Yes. There is a nurse sitting there.
Do a luck roll on myself. That's an 8. That is success. I will also have a small box of chocolate with me, because that is also something you can bring, and worst case you eat it yourself.
Yes. What do you mean you don't like chocolate? Oh dear.
And she would just excuse me.
Yes, madam.
We brought in a little thank you for you lovely nurses to take care of our Uncle Ephraim. I know it has been a while, but we are just visiting, and we learned that he was treated here for his stroke treatment, and we wanted to give you guys a thank you. And she would just hand out the flowers and the chocolate. I hope he didn't
you get one advantage roll on any roll that you choose, because that is my way of giving you inspiration. This is inspired.
And I hope he's sometimes very mean. I hope he didn't treat you too bad. He's just an old grumpy man.
Okay, well, basically, she looks at you. She is flabbergasted, and she takes and she says, "Oh, I don't know what to say. I mean, he was released months ago. That somebody would remember. That is so lovely of you. Well, darling, would you like a cup of coffee? Oh, and I see you brought your husband and sister?"
Looking at Matthew. Yes, indeed. We are part of the family. As I said, we are just visiting from New York.
Oh, I
And
see.
honestly, the family speaks very in high notes of the hospital and how well they treated the poor man
Thank you.
as best as they could.
Well, yes, I do remember Mr. Wade. Unfortunately, there are strokes and strokes, but sometimes there is very little that you can do except make sure that the patient is comfortable as far as this
Mm.
is possible. But I understand that he was released after his treatment and is staying with family now. So how is he doing?
Yes. Hanging in there, I think,
Mm.
is the best. He has good days and bad days because clearly it's not the ideal situation to live.
Yes, it is one of the ones where you sometimes wonder what the Lord above, and you can see that she's wearing a cross,
Mm-hmm.
what the Lord above is putting on our shoulders, but he's always with them. So there is nothing on our shoulders that we can't bear. The good Lord makes sure of that.
Do you know who decided that he is not staying here in treatment, but is
Oh,
brought home?
well, I mean, it is policy. This is not a nursing home, you see, and the point was
Understood.
that
And a nursing home is
I do
expensive.
remember, but I mean, I
Mhm.
remember we reached out to the family, and I understand that his family is mainly in Boston, and he
Yes.
wouldn't have been able to travel, I have to say. And
Hmm.
so, but apparently he has was it a niece
In Nice, yes.
who lives
Lovely
locally,
lady.
and
Hmm.
she was, and I mean, this doesn't happen very often, but apparently she has a house that is where he can stay, and it's possible for
Yes.
him to have access to nursing from there. I understand that there is, and she looks at you, that money is no object, so it was possible to even hire um, in-house nursing, because the alternative would have been to send him down to San Francisco to a nursing home there. But having said this, again, the transport would probably have been arrangeable, and he would have managed to get there, but he would have been far away from family because Boston, Sacramento is quite a trip, but Boston, San Francisco is also nowhere nearer. And at least this way, he's with family.
He is indeed, which is, I think, the best thing that can happen
But
in
can I offer
such
you
a
some
horrible
coffee? Would
situation.
you like to take a
Yes,
seat? And there's
yes.
kind of like a little
Thank you.
visiting area with low
Hmm.
chairs and low tables. And she
But
says,
only if you're not too busy, obviously. We
"Oh
do not
well,
want to keep you from work.
I'm actually quite lucky that I'm here because it's now the visiting hour. So basically, I'm just here to direct you know
Hmm.
family to patients. So
That
and at the
makes
moment
sense.
it's very quiet. So no, I'm happy to make you some coffee." And she basically gets up, and there is a little tea kitchen, and she goes there, and she comes back with a pot of coffee, some cream, cups and stuff, and she pours you coffee, and then she says, "Well, but so basically, but I understand that he's reasonably well, from what you're telling me, as can be
Most days.
expected."
Most days, as can be expected. Clearly, he will not jump around like a child again through the house. This is far, far from
But I will
anything
also
ever
tell you, we
happening.
have seen cases of complete remission. It's all in the Lord's hands sometimes.
Oh, the Lord, for sure, so far has not given him the chance. He is just stuck, I think, in a way that it is not improving or not getting worse at the same time.
Well, I
Um,
mean, I will let you in on a secret. I pray for my patients every day that God sees to it that their situation improves. And we have seen complete remissions, not because of my prayers. I wouldn't kind of like try and imply that, but I will also not lie to you. It is very hard on the families as well. And I'm very grateful every single time a family decides to go down that road. Money helps because you can hire professional help, but still, it also takes a toll on the person.
we can see that. That is why we are there also to support a little and help and give the niece a little bit time to breathe. Obviously, although there are people around helping with
I'm
taking
really
care.
glad. Family is the most important thing.
It is indeed. It is indeed.
And then basically Dottie is completely kind of like, the Dottie has now made sure that one sees her cross, because every so often she does put it on, but now it's a disguise. But she thought, Mount Sinai, that's definitely I would say it's not run by an order. And this lady is also not a nun. But quite often those hospitals that have kind of like a Christian related name, they are somehow affiliated or they have a certain affinity. So in this case, actually, dear Dottie is wearing a cross, which is clearly visible.
That is definitely helping.
Mm-hmm.
And then it would just be a little bit of nice chit chat. I think Alice would maybe sneak in like how the doctors are here, because it seems like they are good ones. And
Yeah.
then leave, wish them a nice rest of the day, and then at least Alice would be done with the hospital.
Yeah. So the three of you make your way back, and then you get into the car, and then he basically says, okay, so what part, how shall we do the drive by of the house? I mean, do you want to get out, or do you just want to drive past, or what do you want to do? Or should I drop you off like a couple of 100 feet down the road, and then you make your way up the street, and I pick you up at the top of the street, or what do you want to do?
I think we drive by, then you let us go, and we will take a walk around the house, and then we meet up like in a half an hour at a corner you pick.
Do you think that the house would be walled, or do you think it's kind of like an open front garden, kind of like lawn, and then there's the house, or do you think that there might be
I
a
don't think
fence
it's
or a
walled. I think it would be a fence where you can, like the iron ones, the pretty ironwork fences, so you could look through. You cannot enter the garden easily, but you can have a look
Okay,
at the
then
house. At
this is
least I
what it looks
suspect
like.
that.
This is what it looks like. Okay, so you drive past. Something tells me it's white. It's whitewashed.
Yeah, for sure.
It looks still, it looks very well turned out. So the lawn is kept short, that kind of thing. And he says, well, we've got a gardener. And then he drops you off, and you and Dottie make your way on foot back to the house. What do you want to do?
Just to circle around and just have a walk. We just look like we are two ladies having a stroll through the neighborhood.
Okay.
That's it. Chit-chatting, having a peek a little bit, just again getting an idea on how the house looks, where are entries, where are windows, and
Okay,
how
so
does the garden look well in
kept, yes.
order?
Yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
so the gardener is still at work,
Yeah.
obviously then.
Okay, so this is what I'll tell you. It's a 2-story house, ground floor, first floor. When you're standing in front of it, so basically there is like the fence, then there is a little garden path or a path, I should say, that leads across the lawn to the front door. There is one step that you take up to stand at the front door. Front door is in the middle. Left and right are large bay windows. They are kind of like the salon, public kind of place where you invite people to sit, that they can also be seen from the street then. So that's not the kind of like the second tier where you put the people that you're more on intimate terms with, because they would be at the back of the house. You know this layout. You've seen houses like this. So that's more the official part. First floor, smaller windows, definitely ground floor, large rooms, smaller rooms upstairs with smaller windows. They all kind of like have, they're like the ones that you push up. And obviously there's also, there is also a window above the door. So that's probably the landing of the staircase that goes up. So
Understood.
as you go to the back definitely has bushes, but straight behind the iron fence, Then there's a lawn. There is there's kind of like garden chairs and a parasol, a large one, and kind of like garden furniture close to the house where the ground is paved. Huge French doors. They probably lead to the dining room, entertainment room proper, where you would be letting in your more intimate guests, and then they can also use because I would believe that Sacramento, you can spend time outside a lot in the summer.
I think you do.
Then you can also see that next to this large front, basically double-sided doors, there is a smaller door as well, and that definitely leads into the kitchen and that kind of thing. And upstairs again, same story, small windows, as smallish windows, smaller windows, basically with different rooms. There's also kind of like a shed thing, probably where the gardener keeps his tools and stuff. And that's it. You would say probably 4, max 5 bedrooms.
Okay.
Yeah. And then and you would also say probably house this size, servants that they have, except maybe for the nurse, don't live on the premises, not like in New York, they would come in. Because also live-in maids, live-in cooks would be very expensive. You don't really think that Matthew is at that career level yet that he can afford it. Yeah. So that's the story. And again, 2 doors at the back, one to the kitchen, one to the main dining room, and then 1 front door. And that's all the doors you can see.
Okay. And then we would just walk back and we would walk up to where we will meet Matthew again.
And then you get into Matthew's car. And then now the day is also almost done. So you go back to your hotel for a nice dinner, and we'll pick it up here next time.
Awesome.
Awesome. Then thank you very much for playing. And we thank everybody for listening, watching, and we will talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.